Imagine a small town where tranquility is shattered by a mysterious disappearance, shaking everyone to their core. In this episode, we will delve into a case that reveals the darkest side of humanity, where a family's relentless fight for justice and answers becomes a symbol of hope and resilience. Do you think you know your neighborhood? What if we told you that danger could be closer than you think? Get ready to challenge your beliefs and question the safety of your own home. Sarah and Wood, a 12-year-old girl, vanished without a trace while returning from Sunday school, and what followed was a series of events that would leave anyone breathless. It seems impossible that something like this could happen in such a peaceful place, right? But the truth is, evil can hide where we least expect it. As the police and hundreds of volunteers searched desperately for Sarah, the mystery deepened, revealing disturbing secrets and unexpected twists. Welcome to Spooky Stories. I'm Milo, your guide through the chilling and the unknown. Here, we dive into terrifying tales that will keep you on the edge of your seat. Join our community of thrill seekers, and let's explore the darkness together. It was a summer morning in New York, and 12-year-old Sarah and Wood was calmly riding her bicycle through the streets of her small town. The daughter of a local pastor, Sarah was known for her gentle nature and love of biking. On August 18, 1993, she was on her way to Sunday school, carrying some books, colorful folders, and a small display board. She had a smile on her face, the sun reflecting off her golden hair as she pedaled through familiar paths. The town, serene and peaceful, gave no indication of the horror about to unfold. As Sarah followed her usual route, her parents expected her to return shortly after class ended. However, as time passed and Sarah did not appear, an unease began to grow in their hearts. Worried, they decided to go to the church, thinking Sarah might be helping other members of the congregation. But upon arrival, they received news that froze their souls. Sarah had left right after class. Anxiety turned into palpable fear. They knew the trip home should only take a few minutes, and Sarah never deviated from her path without asking permission. Desperate, Sarah's parents began following the route she always took, asking neighbors if anyone had seen her. News of Sarah's disappearance quickly spread through the community. Within hours, dozens of people joined the search, combing the fields and forests along the way. When a neighbor stated they had seen Sarah around 2:30 p.m., just a few hundred yards from her home, hope of finding her began to wane, replaced by fear. By nightfall, police found Sarah's bicycle propped against a tree, a few yards off the road, along with her belongings hidden under a bush. The grim truth began to emerge. Sarah had been abducted. Sarah's disappearance quickly became the main concern of the small town, mobilizing not only local residents but also police forces and volunteers from nearby areas. The next morning, the search intensified. Helicopters flew overhead, search dogs scoured every inch of the terrain, while hundreds of volunteers formed a search line, methodically combing every bush, every tree. The atmosphere was dense with the sound of hurried footsteps and worried murmurs, all sharing the same goal: to bring Sarah home. However, with each passing hour without new clues, the desperation grew. Sarah was a beloved girl, with a bright future ahead, and the idea that something terrible might have happened to her was unbearable. Her parents, in a mix of hope and despair, organized an improvised operations center. Volunteers printed and distributed flyers with Sarah's photo, while the local media began covering the story, trying to reach more people and obtain any information that might help in the search. Meanwhile, the police followed every possible lead. They questioned residents, checked the criminal records of locals, and investigated any suspicious cars seen in the area. The pressure was immense, and each lead that went nowhere felt like a direct blow to the community's heart. Each night, Sarah's parents returned home without their daughter, only to start the search anew the next morning. The town, usually tranquil, was now in a constant state of alert and tension, every inhabitant feeling Sarah's absence as an open, painful wound. Nearly 6 months had passed since Sarah and Wood's disappearance, and the hope of finding her alive was fading with each passing day. The community, though still united, was beginning to feel the weight of failure. But on a cold January morning in 1994, a new glimmer of hope emerged from an unexpected place. In a small town in Massachusetts, a 12-year-old girl named Rebecca was walking to school when a strange man approached her. Rebecca was listening to music with her headphones, and when she took them off, the man threatened her with a gun, ordering her to follow him. Rebecca's terror was indescribable, but she kept calm and quickly formulated a plan. Pretending to have an asthma attack, she convinced the man to let her go for a moment. When he relaxed his guard, she broke free and ran, finding safety with some nearby adults. The description she gave to the police, along with the courage of a witness who followed the suspect to a gas station, allowed the police to track down the man. They found the car Rebecca described parked in front of a house and soon arrested the suspect, Louis Lent. Lent, a 43-year-old man, initially denied any involvement, but the evidence against him began to pile up. The police found Rebecca's backpack and other suspicious items in his possession. Lent was taken in for questioning, where, under pressure, he began to confess not only to the attempted abduction of Rebecca, but also to far more sinister crimes. Among his confessions, he revealed details about another crime that shocked investigators: the disappearance of Sarah and Wood. From that point, the case took an even darker and more complex turn, and investigators realized they were dealing with a predator far more dangerous than they had imagined. With the arrest of Louis Lent, Sarah and Wood's case gained a new dimension. During interrogations, Lent confessed to kidnapping and murdering Sarah, along with other horrific crimes. He detailed how he approached Sarah on the road, forcing her into his van at gunpoint. Lent claimed he took Sarah to a remote location in the mountains, where he assaulted and killed her, burying her body near a large lake. The information he provided was precise enough for investigators to believe his guilt, but Lent refused to reveal the exact location of Sarah's body. Lent's revelations shocked everyone. He admitted to building a secret room under his house, planned to hold his kidnapped victims. Police found the room still under construction, a cavernous and sinister space that spoke of horrific intentions. Lent also confessed to the murder of 12-year-old James Bernardo, kidnapped and killed in a similar manner years earlier. His detailed descriptions of the crimes, including the locations of the bodies and methods used, matched the evidence investigators had, confirming the truth of Lent's confessions. Despite the confessions, Lent displayed disturbing and contradictory behavior. At times, he cooperated with authorities, providing graphic details of his crimes. At other times, he clammed up, refusing to reveal crucial information such as the exact location of Sarah's body. His mind games tormented Sarah's parents, who desperately sought closure for their nightmare. Lent, now incarcerated, seemed to enjoy the power he still held over the families of his victims, prolonging their suffering by withholding the information they most desired. The arrest of Louis Lent brought a mix of relief and frustration to Sarah and Wood's family and investigators. Although Lent was finally behind bars, the location of Sarah's body remained a painful mystery. In the following months, police organized several search operations in the area indicated by Lent, but the vast terrain and adverse conditions hampered their efforts. The community continued to mobilize, with hundreds of volunteers participating in the searches, but each failed attempt seemed to diminish hope a little more. Meanwhile, Sarah's parents did not give up. They continued to pressure Lent through prison visits, emotional appeals, and even offering deals. Lent, in turn, seemed to enjoy the control he still had over the situation. In one visit, He suggested there were other victims buried in the same area, further increasing the horror and anguish. This revelation led police to expand their searches, but the vastness of the location and the vague nature of Lent's indications made each effort a Herculean task. The media continued to follow the case closely, keeping Sarah's story alive in the public consciousness. Her parents, tireless in their quest for justice, organized events to keep attention on Sarah's disappearance and raise funds to continue the searches. They also expanded their work to help other families of missing children, turning their personal tragedy into a mission to prevent others from experiencing the same suffering. Sarah's story became a symbol of perseverance and hope, even in the darkest circumstances. Years passed and the search for Sarah and Wood's body continued, with new efforts being made at every new clue or suggestion from Louis Lent. In 2013, a new twist in the case brought a ray of hope. Lent, now 73 years old, made a shocking confession. He admitted responsibility for another murder, this time of a teenager with intellectual disabilities. This new confession, detailed and consistent with the evidence of the crime, further confirmed the extent of his malice. Armed with this new information, police intensified efforts to find Sarah's body. New searches were organized with advanced technologies and more experienced teams. Investigators hoped that Lent's willingness to confess to more crimes indicated a possible willingness to finally reveal the location of Sarah's body. However, Lent continued to play mind games with authorities, providing vague and contradictory clues, keeping everyone in a state of constant frustration. During this time, Sarah's parents never gave up their quest for justice and finding their daughter. They continued to visit Lent in prison, make public appeals, and keep Sarah's memory alive through events and campaigns. The community also stood by the Wood family, participating in searches and supporting their efforts. Sarah's story, though tragic, united people in a common cause, showing the strength and resilience of a community determined to find the truth. As investigators and Sarah and Wood's family continued their searches, the New York community stood firm in their support. Annually, the memorial event for Sarah, a bike ride, attracted thousands of participants, many of whom came from other cities and states to show their solidarity. The ride not only kept Sarah's memory alive but also raised significant funds for organizations dedicated to finding missing children. Each year, Sarah's parents shared stories of other families who had found their children thanks to their continued search and awareness efforts. They became tireless advocates, using their own pain as a driving force to help others. The operations center they created shortly after Sarah's disappearance had grown and become a respected organization, known for its efficiency and dedication in missing children cases. Despite all these achievements, Sarah's absence was deeply felt. Her parents continued to believe that one day Lent would reveal the truth, or that their searches would finally yield answers. Each new volunteer, each new clue, was a reminder that the community had not forgotten Sarah. Determination and the spirit of unity turned the Wood family's personal tragedy into a broader movement of hope and resilience. Sarah and Wood's story is a painful and inspiring reminder of life's fragility and the human spirit's strength. While Louis Lent remains incarcerated, paying for his crimes, Sarah's family and the surrounding community continue to fight for justice and answers. Sarah's legacy goes beyond her tragic absence. It lives on in her parents' tireless efforts to help other families, in the community's unity around a common cause, and in the memory of a girl who, even in her short life, touched the hearts of many. The annual events in Sarah's memory, the awareness campaigns, and the ongoing search efforts are a testament to her parents' determination and resilience. They turned their pain into a positive force, helping to reunite hundreds of missing children with their families and bringing hope to those still searching. Each year, the bike ride in Sarah's memory grows larger, attracting more participants and raising more funds for a vital cause. Sarah and Wood's story is a narrative of loss but also of love, unity, and perseverance. Though her body has not yet been found, her memory lives on, inspiring action and change. And as long as there are people willing to fight for truth and justice, Sarah's legacy will continue to light the way for many other families in times of darkness. The story of Sarah and Wood is a powerful reminder that, even in the darkest moments, hope and perseverance can light the way. We've seen how the strength of a united community, the determination of a family, and the relentless pursuit of justice can make a difference. Now, I want you to think, what would you do if you were in Sarah's parents' shoes? How would you react if something like this happened in your neighborhood? Reflect on the safety of your surroundings. Do you really know the people who live around you? Are you prepared to act if a tragedy like this were to happen near you? Is your community united and vigilant enough to face such a situation? I challenge you to get more involved, to be more vigilant, and to never underestimate the power of unity and collective action. Turn pain into action, just as Sarah's family did. They not only sought answers but also helped other families find their missing children. You too can make a difference in someone's life. If you want to continue learning about stories like Sarah's, which remind us of the fragility of life but also of the power of resilience and hope, subscribe to the channel. Activate notifications so you don't miss any episodes. Together, we can learn, protect ourselves, and help build a safer, more united community. Let's continue this journey together, turning knowledge into action. Meet Sarah. Like many of us, she used to dread bedtime. Hours spent tossing and turning, waking up groggy and irritable, and worst of all, her relentless snoring that not only disturbed her sleep, but her partner's as well. Desperate for a solution, Sarah tried everything. New mattresses, white noise machines, even sleeping pills. Nothing worked until she discovered our breathing for sleep routine. One particularly frustrating night, Sarah stumbled upon an article about the power of breathing to improve sleep. Skeptical but willing to try anything, she read about our breathing for sleep routine, a simple, scientifically backed method designed to clear sinuses, enhance breathing, and eliminate oxygen blockades. It promised to guide users through a simple breathing routine for the best sleep of their lives. Intrigued, she decided to give it a shot. As she began the routine, Sarah immediately felt her sinuses clear. She followed the step-by-step guide, learning how to breathe deeply and correctly. Within minutes, she noticed a significant difference. Her breathing was smoother, more relaxed. That night, she fell asleep faster than she had in years and, incredibly, stayed asleep all night. One of the most astonishing benefits was the end of her snoring. The routine included a simple breathing hack that stopped her snoring in minutes. Sarah learned that her habit of mouth breathing was activating her survival mode, preventing her from achieving truly restful sleep. By switching to nasal breathing, she deactivated this mode and allowed her body to fully relax. The next morning, Sarah woke up feeling refreshed and rejuvenated. She couldn't remember the last time she felt so well rested. Her partner noticed the difference too. No more middle-of-the-night disruptions from her snoring. The transformation was remarkable, and Sarah knew she had found something special. Sarah's story is not unique. Many others have discovered the life-changing benefits of our breathing for sleep routine. Imagine falling asleep quickly, sleeping soundly through the night, and waking up feeling fully rested. No more snoring, no more grogginess, just deep, restorative sleep. Are you ready to transform your sleep like Sarah did? Our breathing for sleep routine is easy to follow and starts working immediately. Clear your sinuses, enhance your breathing, and remove oxygen blockades with our guided routine. Say goodbye to snoring and hello to the best sleep of your life. Check out the link for this wonder in the description and the comments.